This is Anderson Penn's podcast episode 159 for Tuesday, July 28th, 2015. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
This is the Anderson Penn's Radio Network.
Oh my God, I never thought I'd say this, but it's good to be back.
Yeah, so we took a couple weeks off. I guess it's been 3 weeks now. A couple weeks ago it was a busy week for me, and last week
It was busy.
last week was busy. Lisa had another eye surgery on Wednesday, so
Procedure. It's more of a procedure.
Not a surgery. I'm sorry, procedure.
Surgery is more when they actually open stuff up. Procedure was less invasive, just freaky.
So,
Anyway.
So we decided instead of being less than our best, we would take the day off, and here we are. So let's. You want to recap the last week, and it's like 1,000 degrees here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and we don't have air conditioning in our house, so forgive that we look a little. Yeah, last week was crazy busy. Every day we had something awesome going on. On Monday, our good friends Mike and Audrey Madison came up from North Carolina, and I had to think about which Carolina that was. Audrey's family. Audrey's got family who lives up here, and so they made the trek from North Carolina through. Did they stop in Tennessee or no?
They talked about it on the blog, and for the life of me, I can't remember.
They stopped a couple
they
times. They stayed for at least a night or two in Plymouth, Wisconsin, and they came over to see us last Monday. Always awesome to see them. We had just hung out with them in Raleigh at the end of May, beginning of June. So it was good to see, it's always good to see them. But they always just seem to have such a good time when they come to the store. And
they're straight. They're straight shooters, really. I mean, they tell it like it is, and I think that's what we like about them. They're just, and they're just super people. So
yeah, we always have a good time. And Mike, I think, was a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Shocked. We give him ink samples for his blog, and so he was there at the store with all of the ink and all of the ink samples, and so he and I were talking about what he has, what he doesn't have, what he's tried, what he hasn't tried, and so I just took out a big tray, and we just started filling it up. And
we should note
later.
I'm sorry. We should note, because we know this, but other people don't. It's Mike's blog is inkdependence.com.
Yes. So he texted me later, and he said 60, count them, 60 ink samples. So we sent him home with plenty of blogger fodder.
Well, that's not quite 10% of our total take.
Not quite.
Not quite.
But it was fun. Awesome time.
Yeah, those guys are great.
Mike's in the chat.
He is in the chat. There he is. Everybody say hi to Mike. We got a chance to have a kind of an late lunch, early dinner, and chat a little more at the store, and they're on their way.
And they solved a problem we've been having.
Which one was that?
The corn tortilla issue.
The corn tortilla issue. Yes, it does work. It does work. There we go. Food 806.
There you go.
Yeah, so we had this problem with corn tortillas. They fall apart, and Mike's like, well, duh, I'm from Texas. You've got to heat them up in the microwave first.
Steam them a little.
Steam them,
and
it works.
It's amazing. They don't fall apart when you try to eat them. We felt like such morons. But
it worked. So I think we could have steamed it a little more the other day. But anyway, so yeah, we got to have dinner with the two of them, and chat a little bit more, and then they're on their way. So.
Yeah.
But that was fun. That was a perfect excuse to get out of work just a little bit early. So
it was. And then Tuesday we had dinner with our good friends Ivan and Mary, and several of their other friends, and we all went to an amazing restaurant. Amazing restaurant, about half an hour from the house. And last year, Ivan has several Corvettes, and last year it was Ivan and Mary, us, and 5 other couples, and there were 6 Corvettes and our Acura.
It didn't quite fit in.
Yeah, so this year, since Brian just bought a Corvette, and there were 2 more couples, 1 or 2 more couples.
I think so, yeah.
Everyone there showed up in a Corvette. It was an absolutely perfect day. All the neighbors in the area just thought we were all crazy because you just got this parade. But it was barbecue out on the patio. It was absolutely phenomenal.
It was crazy.
And
it's just.
There was some potato and cheese thing that, of course, I can't eat. And Brian went back to get seconds because they're
seconds were mandatory.
tiny wedges.
Yeah, they're little wedges, and Ivan goes around. He says, of course, seconds are mandatory. So I don't want to disappoint our host because Ivan's a great guy. And I go up, and the guy in front of me grabs the last one. Like, ooh. So.
Yeah.
But
that was fun. And then Wednesday, I had my second YAG procedure. Who names that?
I don't. What does that stand for? Do we know what that stands for?
Yucky.
Yellow and green.
No. It's I don't know what it stands for. Zap a hole in your back of your eye with a laser. I don't know. Anyway, Wednesday was my second procedure, same YAG procedure I had 2 weeks ago, and finally, hopefully, I'll be done with all this eye drama soon enough. And then I took the day off and worked from home, where it was a little darker. The store's very bright, and it was a little too rough on my eyes. So we took it easy Wednesday. Thursday, we went to bed very early because Friday we got up at, is it 3:30?
3:30 or something like that. Yeah,
so that we could be on the road by 4?
Yeah, and I didn't. I apologize. I sent out a little teaser that morning that we were going on a pen. I don't know how I put it.
A pen adventure.
Pen adventure, and that was all you heard from me the rest of the weekend. But that's all right. We'll have pictures. I'll post pictures up at some point. So.
Well, the amazing thing is that we flew in a plane.
We did, and it freaked some people out.
It was kind of cool.
It was neat. Yeah, I mean, and actually, I wasn't thinking that there was a. I thought Atlanta for some reason was in Central Time Zone, so I thought it was a 2-hour flight, and this was pretty much get in, go up, come back down kind of thing. I mean, it was only an hour.
It was a 2-hour flight.
Maybe.
Anyway,
but
flying is like fast.
We're going to do that more often. I got to figure out how to do that.
I know. So we flew to Atlanta to go see our good friend Jimmy Dolive at Total Office Products.
Jimmy's awesome.
Jimmy's phenomenal. And we hung out with Jimmy and his daughter Suzanne for the day. And we picked up a couple display towers that Jimmy was getting rid of. And so we rented this 24-foot moving truck. And for those of you who've never driven a moving truck, it's a big-ass truck.
Yeah, you don't get a 20.
You don't want to do this.
Yeah, you don't want to do this.
It's big. But we fit 3 Visconti cases that match one that we already have. We have our sailors in that. And one really cool Schaefer counter. It's 40 inches long. And it has these scalloped trays that are attached to the 2 doors. So when you open the back doors, these scalloped trays move back.
Yeah, they rotate out. It's really neat.
Yeah.
And it holds a ton of boxes and stuff underneath. And for those of you who don't know Jimmy, Jimmy's the guy at Jimmy goes to almost every pen show. He goes to not quite as many as we do, I don't think, but just almost about. But he's an older guy. He always wears a funky, like a plaid vest usually.
Like an Argyle sweater vest.
Yep, Argyle sweater vest, and he's got a loop or a magnifying glass on a chain.
And an awesome Southern accent.
Yeah, Southern accent, and he's just he's friendly as can be. Yeah, he's just really, really super nice guy. But we got to see his shop, and he's he's getting ready to move on to other things, so to speak.
Well, they don't need as much space.
No,
And
no.
he's, they're still going to stay in the pen business. They're still going to stay in the office supplies business, but he doesn't need as much space as he has, so he's looking to downsize a little bit. And it was cool to see his store set up, and it was cool we got to see some amazing pens. Oh my God! And
It's going to be us in like 40 years, or maybe 50.
We don't have that kind of stuff. Some of this is really cool. But it was a fun time. And then we got in this mammoth, I don't even know the word for it. I almost felt like, you see those FedEx drivers with the 2 semis or even the 3? It felt that big. It was huge.
We
But
could have put a car in the back.
we could have, absolutely. And the suspension sucked. So every time you hit a bump, you'd bump up and down like on a pogo stick for about 30 to 45 seconds. It was not a very comfortable ride. But we made it home, and not a single piece of glass broke. Everything was perfect. One case has a tiny little scratch, but I don't think that it happened on the drive. So we were very lucky, because some of these pieces are really cool, including how tall is this thing? 5 feet?
It's 5. It's 5 feet.
There's a big pellet. This is like the first thing that Brian said he wanted was this thing. It's a 5 foot tall Pelican pen that is a lamp, and so the entire length of this 5 foot pen lights up. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny because this actually came. Jimmy had 2 of these, and this one was actually in the original box from Germany, original packing material. Like, he never took it out of the box. And it's funny because they call it an M8. It's an M800. They should have just called it an M8000, because this thing is huge. I mean, I had to take a picture. I mean, the cap is that big around, and yeah, it's neat. It lights up, and it's superb. It's got a stub nib on it, probably about a 12.5 millimeter stub.
Yeah, it's cool.
And yeah, it's a neat lamp. I don't know that they make them anymore, but it doesn't matter. We've got one now. We put it in the entrance to the store. What else didn't we got? The Schaefer lamps. 2
wall sconces from, what did you say? Probably the 40s.
They're either from the late 40s or the early 50s, and they're a good, I don't know, 12, 15
no, more
inches,
than that.
18 inches tall.
18 inches tall.
4-sided, and then each side has on the inside, and it's interesting how they did this. They have a piece of paper on the inside of each in front of each frosted glass pane. On 2 sides, it says Schaefer's Lifetime. And then on one side, they have a picture of a black chased hard rubber pen posted with the nib out. And then on the other side, they have a picture of, it was a woman they had in an ad, and it says Schaefer's Lifetime, and she's got a pen, and she's writing a letter. I think it's on the cover of that little small booklet, History of Schaefer. I think she's on the cover of that. But each of them has those 4, and they're on a piece of paper. And then on the inside, and I did a little research on the company that made these. They were famous for making clocks, neon clocks, and they had a synchro on the inside. And I think the way that was set up is there was another dial in there or something that it would rotate a color wheel, and then it would the side panel would change color or something. It's not hooked up, but it would be interesting to once we get into it and we get some time to see if we can hook that back up and make it work. But they look neat just as is. They're on a big wood back, and actually there's a platform on the bottom. So I don't know. I don't know.
You could stand them on something. It's like an L-shaped mounting, so you could hang it or you could sit it on something.
Yeah, you could put it on a
shelf or something.
shelf or something. But real neat. Two pair of them. Just
one pair.
Yeah, one pair. Yeah, two pieces, one
Two
pair.
lamps.
Need lamps. I saw those. I gotta have them. Where else are you gonna get stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So I think that was all we got from Jimmy.
And then we left Jimmy's. We drove all night.
We got a little goodie bag from Jimmy on the way out.
We did. It was cool.
Can we show this?
Yes.
Um,
we went down also to help Jimmy and his daughter with some software things, some website stuff.
They're working on a new website.
And as a thank you, Jimmy put together this goodie bag of other things that they sell. It's actually the bigger part of their business is office supplies. He's like a local Staples. They have this huge catalog that's bigger than the Staples catalog.
Yeah, what is it? Is it 3 inches?
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge.
It's heavy.
Yes, 3 inches.
You could hurt somebody with this.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting to flip through that, and it was just like looking through a Staples catalog, only they've got more. So this is what Jimmy does, more than just the fine writing. And so he filled a goodie bag with some cool file folders, and I love office supplies. I'm just in heaven whenever I have to go to Office Depot. In fact, on the way back a couple weekends ago, we took a drive and went to an antique store, an antique mall, and I wanted to go to Staples across the street because we don't have a Staples in Appleton. But it was all sorts of cool, fun stuff, including one of those high-heeled tape dispensers. Those are cool. And
then tucked at the very, very bottom of the bag,
there was a little present.
There's a little.
I think it's mostly for Brian because you've been doing more of the back-end work for them. And so there's this gift.
There's a little box here, and you can see it. And there's a little note on here from Jimmy.
And so you know that if it says Sailor, we are just going gaga.
And he knows we love Sailor. He knows it because that's always the first thing I look at when I go to his table. And inside the Sailor Jade Magellan, and this works out good because Lisa already has one. And this one actually has my favorite nib, and it's got a broad nib, the original style nib in it. And I think this one is this is original 14 karat broad nib. It's got the trim at the end of the section like the old style does. Yeah, super. I'm totally.
We were tickled pink.
Yeah, it was unexpected and unnecessary. And but
Brian's not giving it back.
No, I'm not giving it back because I have the Jade set. I've got the fountain pen and the rollerball Magellan Jade lapis set. Sorry, and so now I have the Jade, and that's. So
now I need a lapis.
You do need a lapis. You could have had one, but I sold it to Steph.
I see how that works. Anyway, so that was awesome. Just to hang out and to see them, and some of you may remember when we went to the Atlanta Pen Show, Brian and I went to Carrabba's for dinner, and it turns out that this Carrabba's, the very same one we went to the weekend of the Pen Show, is very close to Jimmy's store. And so we all went and grabbed lunch before we left.
I mean, it's like 2 blocks down the street.
Yeah, 2 or 3, not very far.
Yeah, it's not very far.
And we had equally bad service. I don't know. If the salmon is supposed to come on the salad, that doesn't mean that everyone should be done and Jimmy should have paid and then the salmon arrives separately. Just saying. Maybe that's a southern thing, but it wasn't Jimmy's fault at all, but, you know, it was just...
They got my order right this time, so...
Yeah, so that's probably the last time we'll go there.
Yeah, probably.
But we left Atlanta, we drove all night, and then we went to a city just south of Milwaukee, here in Wisconsin, this little teeny town, and Brian had been in touch with...
That's like 9 miles. Yeah, it's 9 miles off the interstate. And just when you think you've gone far enough, you just have to keep going.
Yeah. Brian had been in touch with a man about some Esterbrook nibs. Of course, we're always in the market for Esterbrook nibs. And he had some other stuff. He had an office supply store.
Well, every time we had a conversation, or I'd call him up, he'd say, well, I made him an offer. And then he says, okay. He says, well, I found this other stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give you a little bit more for that. And then he emailed me again. It's like, well, I found this other stuff. I'm like, well, let's just come up with the price here, right? So he finally says, okay, well, I said, well, we're going to be coming through, and we have a truck, so we can come and we can pick all this stuff up. It's 10 miles off our route, and
we already have the truck. We're already there.
Already have the
coming
truck,
through.
right? And he had a 6-foot Parker display case.
Exactly like one of the ones we picked up last
Father's
June.
Day.
So Father's Day 2014.
Yes, it's slightly different.
So we have 3 different ones?
Well, this one has the whole locking mechanism. The other one doesn't. I looked at it. It doesn't have the locking mechanism. But it had 8 of the 10 original aluminum trays that came with the display. Now, any of you who know ephemera, those trays are impossible. They're not quite impossible, but they're hard to find. To get 8 of them is substantial. And originally I thought we were only getting 6 because I was looking at the pictures, but apparently there were 2 more. So there's 8 of 10 that came with the case. It's in really excellent shape. It lights up. It's got an extra outlet on the bottom. The glass is in excellent condition. It comes with the original keys. There's not a thing wrong with it, really. And so we said, okay, well, we'll take it because we got the truck. And guy was nice. We got there, called him an hour in advance, says I'll be there, and helped us lift the thing up into the truck. And he had found some other stuff. He's like, I'll just throw this in. a couple of little counter cases across, and then an older Parker Insignia case, and some other stuff. And it's all in a big box. And I'm like, okay, well, I had pictures of it, and I'm like, okay, I know it's a fair deal. And that was it. We got it in the truck and got in the truck. Didn't really pay too much attention to it. And then our next stop was we had to stop off at the airport to pick up the other car and then drive home.
It was nice to get home.
Yeah, yeah. And so we got home. It was about 3 o'clock. Just after the store closed, and so we started unpacking everything. And I'm looking in the box. So we got everything. We got everything unpacked.
Yep.
Into the store. We called Garrett. Garrett came out and helped us out. And then I started looking. Well, I think we went home, and then we decided we're going to come back. And I looked in the box
because that's what we do.
Because that's what we do. Well, and this gentleman, he told me, he says, okay, well, listen, I found a box that's got some Parker 75 nibs, and it's got some 45 nibs and a Schaefer display case and some bottles of Sanford. I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. The little Sanford bottles are, they're 0.75 ounce bottles, and they're cute, and we've got a couple. We got an original display. And I go to open the box, and these things, I should have brought one. What are they? Are they like 64 ounces?
Are they a quart?
A quart size? They're huge. They're huge.
Big.
They're
very big. They're tall.
a foot tall at least. And the funny thing is, there's 3 bottles of these in the box, and there's a little sticker from his store. He's been in the office supply business his family's been in the business for 45 years. And there's a sticker on the top that says 75 cents.
Yeah, some of the prices on some of these things were amazing.
I mean, 64 ounces or whatever it is, a quart of ink for 75 cents. I mean, you could write for years. But he had a couple of Esterbrook desk sets, and one really piqued my interest.
I can't believe there are any left that you don't have.
Well, there's a couple, and actually,
Oh
I
my
thought I didn't
God.
have this. I think I have a similar version, but not this one. And so I'll show this to you. This is a 427, and it's the burgundy. It's the maroon version. There's 3 different versions. Okay, and it looks nice. And even on the back, it's got written in like gold chalk in the middle here. It says $6.50, I think, a set. I can't really tell because there's a sticker over the top, and the sticker says $7 and $8. So I'm assuming maybe if you got Durachrome, or if you got 9,000 series nibs, it was $8, and if you got 2,000 series nibs, it was less. So he's like, yeah, it doesn't even look like it's been used. And so I'm looking. If you can notice in here, you see the inner cap wells, and I'll pull one out. They're white.
I've never seen white.
White is, I have seen white. I don't think I own a single white one. And white basically means it's not really been used. So I'll take it out, and then the clip comes off, and I take it out, and then I see this. And if you can see this, I'll put it up here. There's a little piece of cardboard around the white. And it says, tear this off when ready to fill. And there's a little piece of cardboard here.
I've never seen a desk set with that on there.
We have 36 years of collecting experience between the two of us. Never, ever have I seen that. It is on both. This set has never been used.
Never even looked at.
Yeah, never been looked at.
Amazing.
It's really,
That was
really
cool.
outstanding. Yeah, it's something else. So, yeah, look at that. I mean, it shows some sign from sitting around in an office store for 40 years, but it's perfect. Really, really perfect. Really, just it just goes to show you can collect for 20, 30, 40 years, and you can still find stuff that just you've never seen before.
Which is kind of part of the fun.
Yeah, it's fewer and far between now. I mean, it doesn't happen very often that we find something that we don't have, but when we do, it's really, I mean, that's powerful. There's a lot of that's a significant desk set.
He was so excited.
So
Excited.
Yeah. What else was there? Anything else interesting? There was that little Schaefer glass display, little countertop thing.
I mean, a bunch of nibs.
Yeah.
Lots of nibs, and we've already put those up on the site, including there were some that we were out of stock, and so it was nice to be able to replenish those. But it was, we knew pretty much what was in it. There were some little surprises, which was good surprises, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And we packed up the Parker case and strapped her in and took off and just went home. We were tired.
Yeah, we were pretty.
That's 900 miles of bouncing up and down on bad shocks. It was, it's not.
Yeah, with very little sleep.
Yeah, well, that's how we roll.
So that's how we roll. So yeah, that was fun. We went in on Sunday and cleaned it up, and so now Mike and Audrey were at the store on Monday, and now we took out 2 cases and moved really solidly moved in 4. The Parker case is in the store, but I don't know what we're going to do with it.
What 2 cases did we take out? We took out
the Lucky Curve case, the 1920s Lucky Curve case,
and the DuPont case.
And the DuPont case.
Yeah.
While I enjoyed having the Lucky Curve case in the store from the 1920s,
It's now home.
Yeah, it's now home with the rest of the 74 other vintage cases.
So the house is going to become the pen case museum.
It is, yes. I don't know how many
so.
we have. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Anyway, a lot.
5.
There was
6.
an Aurora case that I briefly considered that matches the one, those of you who were in Atlanta and in Raleigh and got to go to the Franklin Christoph headquarters, they have one. And this was pretty much a companion piece to that, so that would have been cool. But
it was neat. I just don't, we are
we don't
literally
have a place for it.
We're literally running out of room. I mean, our store is very narrow and long. For those of you who haven't been there, so it's difficult to put. We got to have room
Too
for
much
paper
in
somewhere, so we don't have. People have to be able to walk around. But it's even changed, and we're still not done setting it up. We got the cases where we want them. We got to move some things around this week and free up some room because we have a lot of things real tight in certain spaces. But now we'll be able to show them off a little better. We get a little more light coming in now the front, and
Yeah, it's nice. It's also fun to move things around and keep it fresh. It keeps it a fun experience for people who come to the store. And I will confess that Dave and I occasionally play the Let's Mess with Brian game
oh my
and
God,
move some stuff around while Brian's at work, and then he shows up at 4, and we've moved, Pilot from this case to this case, and he'll go to pull an order or something like, wait, where'd it go? So we make him guess what we've moved today.
yeah. So, what else? I mean, that was a fun. It was kind of a fun trip, but it was a lot of work, and it was hot.
It was hot.
Very hot. So
yeah, you'd be, the heat isn't so bad, the humidity isn't so bad, but then you start to move, cases that weigh what, a couple 100 pounds?
Yeah, a couple 100.
Yeah, you're working out there, but it was worth it. We had a good time and added some much needed and much wanted cases to the store. It's great that they match what we already had.
Well, those old Visconti cases are gorgeous. They're just really, they're outstanding, nice, dark, rich woods and or laminate, I guess is what it is. But
yes.
It's a real nice, it's a beautiful, beautiful case. It's a pity they don't make them that way anymore. But
yeah, so we were excited to be able to grab 3 more.
Yep. So, should we move on?
Yep.
Okay.
And that leads to other stuff that's been going on since we've been radio silent for the last couple weeks. Boatloads of stuff have come into the store, and we completed an update to the website. And
yeah, I'm real pleased. Something we have been wanting to do. It kind of all came together in a really good way. New responsive design on the site. It looks for most of you might not notice too much of a difference, but if you look at it on your phone now, your mobile device, you can actually see what's going on. We eliminated the left navigation, so we have more real estate on the screen to see. You don't have to keep hitting next page, next page, next page. So I think it turned out really well. I'm pretty pleased with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier to get around. So we completed that. What, about a week ago?
A week to 10 days. It had been a long time in the process, since early April.
Yeah, it's been a couple months. Yeah. Couple three.
But we wanted it to be right. So. And then in the store and on the site, we've got a ton of new stuff. I don't even know where to start.
Well, let's go in order because otherwise we're going to forget.
Right.
The big news for the week, actually, it was last week.
Last week.
This guy right here, or this pair, the TWSBI Eco, white and black, cool little piston filler at a cool little price. It's really a nice unit. Does not have interchangeable nibs, but at this price, who cares?
It's a nice good size.
Pen. Yeah, and it posts. It wasn't designed to post, but it actually does post. Decent length.
Nice pen for $29.
Yeah. So it's got the same size nib as what is this, number 4, the same size as the Mini, I think. But nice. It's a solid pen. It's got a little red dot on the top, and
nice little pen.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. So good for throwing in a briefcase or you don't want to take the good pens out or loan it to somebody. I don't know. Beginners, or just you want to have something fun to screw around with or put your Bay State Blue in.
There you go.
So, what's next?
We also started carrying the Diamine cartridges. They, the same colors that Diamine ink comes in, and you get 18 cartridges for $8.50, which is really a good deal. It's a crazy amount. They're all standard international. I thought the box would open up like a matchstick, but it doesn't. It's a nice option. Now you can have the Diamine colors in an international cartridge, and for those of you who like cartridges, I personally do. Brian doesn't as much. I think they're convenient, so it's nice to have different color options now.
Oh, cool.
Right.
My favorite addition for the week, this guy right here, the Omas Arte Italiana Art Vision. This is Malort
Which color do you like
size.
better?
What's that?
Which color do you like better?
You know, I like the blue. I think the blue is great. There's a blue and then there's a green. The green has this like high-tech kind of trim to it, real dark trim. It's neat. It's really, really a neat trim, but I like the blue color better. But it's Malort size. It's a piston filler. Just like all good Omas are. Reasonable price, and it's a cotton resin, transparent material, so you can just slightly see through it.
Gorgeous colors.
Yeah, it's really neat. So those came in, number of different nib sizes on those. One for me,
they actually were darker than I thought they'd be, but I like it that way.
You just
I'm just ignoring you.
You're just tuning me out now.
I am. I definitely am. Yeah.
Next on the list, and this came in, and this is kind of one of the last. And Jenny will recognize this box right here. See that beautiful little kind of
Case of Italian yumminess.
Case of Italian yumminess, and then it comes in this as a little Visconti box, and this beautiful box that they come in. High polished, dark brown box. You open it up, the angels sing, and out comes.
Angels are going to sing soon enough.
They are singing right now. Look at this. This is the Opera Master
Tide.
Crimson Tide. Yeah, cool pen. Really a neat looking pen. Double reservoir power filler. Just like the Homo sapiens. So that comes out, snap down, and you're done. 22 karat palladium nib, just really neat. They made 70 of these. That's it. This one just happens to be number 35. It's right in the middle. So neat pen. So that came in. I was excited to see that.
Brian and Dave were fondling the pen and drooling over it, so it's been cleaned off.
Yeah. It looked really cool with a red ink in it, or burgundy, or maybe even a gold, or something like that. So really neat. And you gotta love the box. The Visconti boxes, the limited editions come in are superb. Really, really nice boxes. So
they do a nice job.
Yeah, they do. So what else you got?
We didn't bring them home, but we got in the newest Paper Blanks models. The Rococo Revival series and the Autumn Symphony, some really pretty ones. So those are up on the site with pictures.
Wasn't there plaid too?
No, the plaid was for Jenny. That was a special order.
All right.
So we got that and a couple other things. And we will, of course, do special orders. I've got something I'm still waiting on for Carrie. But the new ones, when I saw them, I immediately, we got a new catalog, and I immediately circled them. I want one for me. They're really pretty.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. They really do a nice job, and they're fountain pen friendly. And what more can you ask for? So
yeah, very, very pretty. And then we also are slowly building up, 'cause it's a lot, we're slowly building up to carrying all of the Field Notes County Fair states. So we got in some more of those. Every couple weeks we just get in 6, 7, 8 more states until we finally build up to the entire country. The problem is we're running out of room.
Yeah, we don't have room. We need a rack or something. But
we do. But those came in, and
they're fun. They have little things on the back, the notes about the state, and little trivia, and all sorts of stuff. So
yeah, it's very cool. And then today, now I knew that this was coming, or I thought that this was coming, because Pilot and Sailor and a number of the companies send their invoices the day before the package arrives. And so I knew that a package from Atoya, from Sailor, was coming today, and I knew we were restocking a number of our pens. And supposedly, this particular pen was on the way, but it confused me because these are not supposed to be out yet. So, somebody at Atoya loves us a lot.
Well, we love Atoya. So.
Well, we do. Well,
and actually, before you go, I just want to mention that Lisa's terrible at keeping secrets, and she says to me, as we had stepped out of the car and we're walking to work, and we go down this sidewalk, and then she goes one way, and then I go the other way. And she goes like half a block, and I go half a block, and that's where it is. And she says, "Oh, by the way, we got a shipment from Atoya coming in today. Something you're going to want to see." I'm like, "Well, what is it?" She goes, "Well, I can't tell you." And then she tells me. I mean, because it could be anything, and we've got so much stuff ordered. I don't know what's coming in and what's not.
Right. So without further ado, I think this needs to be my birthday present.
Do you need a drum roll for this?
There are no words. Angel hearts or something?
I can't do angel hearts, sorry.
All right. They only make 6 of these per month. These are hand ground by Yukio Nagahara, otherwise known as Nagahara Jr. He actually, according to the paperwork, designed this nib, and so only 6 are produced each month. It is a pen that used to be bespoke only, meaning only a few people, only 2 retailers in the country could carry these. And Japan has now released them to the rest of the U.S. Sailor retailers. And it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. Only 1 nib option, and this absolutely gorgeous red pearl. This is the Saibi Togi, the super extra fine EEF nib.
And this comes in at points. You got the sheet in front of you.
I do. 0.1.
0.1.
Yeah.
If you need extra fine.
This is like a Thomas Hall grind.
This is the pen, and you can't get. It's a Pro Gear Slim. You can't get this body color match section. You can't get this body in any other nib size. It only comes in a Saibi.
It's absolutely, my camera's not focusing, it's absolutely gorgeous. But it's super, super tiny. And the paperwork that comes with it says that it's an extra fine, it's the finest extra fine nib, which writes 0.12 in a vertical line. And so it's rounded down to a 0.1 millimeter width. And you still get consistent flow and ultra smooth writing. A total of 11 production steps are involved in the production of this nib, including the use of a microscope and a special projector system. Yeah.
You know me. I like my Sailor Broad and my Sailor Music nibs, but I kind of want one just because. Why not? I mean, it comes with a little.
So this is a great little the paper that comes with it, and it comes with this really cool nib cleaning tool.
Yeah, it looks like a little black.
It's a little black handle with a little metal.
Little aluminum.
teeny tiny aluminum, like a brass sheet.
Brass, yeah, it's not aluminum. I'm sorry,
With
but
a handle.
brass, yeah.
So it's very cool. I'm not touching it because I'm really uncoordinated.
Well, what's interesting about the nib, and let's talk about the nib for a minute,
Let's
is
talk
when you
about
look at the nib.
Ink this baby up.
This baby up. Oh my gosh!
Hey,
But you're not gonna decide what ink you're gonna put in and go over for like 4 days, decide which ink you're gonna put in it. When you look at the nib straight on, the flat, like you do most nibs, it looks like a medium. But you have to kind of look at the nib at kind of at an angle back towards you, where you see that it's sculpted, and it's really interesting. I have to see if I can get a picture of it. But if you look at it flat on, it looks like a medium nib, and it just tapers to like nothing. It'd be really interesting to look at. We have under our microscope, but
right.
Really a beautiful, beautiful material. It's like a metallic burgundy almost. It's just really
Gorgeous color.
It's pretty.
Like in between a burgundy and a brick red. And you know, I think pearl red is a good description because it's got kind of a pearlized depth to it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so the questions in the chat are it's unusable. I mean, what do you do with it? I'm like, well, you write on grains of rice, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, but
No,
we do have requests. People. I mean, they're mathematicians or chemists or whatever, and they need to write really small, or they have a very small handwriting. And with this is the tool. This is the tool to do it with. So.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous.
So.
This one may not go back to the store.
Yeah, your birthday's tomorrow, so make sure everybody wish your happy birthday.
No, we are not making a big deal. It is just another number.
Okay, so if you get that, then what I have in this drawer over here.
What's in your drawer?
Nothing.
Yeah, I see that.
No, but yeah, neat. They just came in. So what else we got?
I think we already mentioned that we rearranged the store.
Yep.
And we're not done yet. We're waiting for Carpenter Joe to come back and do some things. So we've got a lot of big plans. Hopefully it doesn't overlap too much into the beginning of show season again. So.
Yeah, no, the store's going to look great by the end of the year.
Well, the store already looks great.
Well, it does.
But it's fun to move things around. And the other day, we had a moment. We were kind of lamenting that we're running out of space, and we've got more cases than space. And so my thought was, okay, if you could forget about how much work it is, but if you could empty the store and then put everything back.
Forget about how much work it is. Yeah.
Forget about how much work it is. Empty the store and then put everything back. What would we do differently? So that was an interesting exercise. We didn't move anything major yet, but we tend to move things about 5 o'clock on Friday.
Yep.
I'm not sure why.
Well, it works out then.
Yep. And then something else from Sailor. Sailor has some great stuff coming out.
Big news. Big news.
A while back, the Storia Inc. started to make waves or make news. And at first, U.S. retailers couldn't get it.
Well, this came out in April.
You guys know me. I love ink. And then Japan released a small quantity to Atoya, and Atoya decided that it wasn't fair to sell. They couldn't supply all of their retailers with enough ink. So they decided to have the giveaway, and they ended up giving away 240 bottles of ink. If you bought a pen, you got a bottle of ink. And they gave all that away in 2 weeks. And they either just received or are about to receive an actual real-size shipment of Storia ink from Japan, and it will be available to retailers. And so we have it up on the site. Fill out that back and form notice, and we've placed our order, and they should be here soon.
Yeah, back in stock. Yeah, so take it out of the box once there.
These are cool.
It's got the cool little frosted bottle. It has the same little ink well that the Gentle Ink has. 8 colors. It's a smaller bottle. It's 30 mils, with some nice colors. You could mix them.
Yeah, it's a really interesting concept. They are all circus themed, which is kind of fun, and just really cool colors.
So,
That was exciting.
yeah. So those are up. We will have samples available as well. So, but nice to get new Sailor ink.
Yes. Well, we love Sailor anyway. And then our Tomo River paper should be shipping this week or early next week to the store.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. So we've been waiting a while, but it's finally here in the States and will be on the way to us in just a day or two.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have it for DC anyway.
Hopefully we have some left.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on in the store. I mean, she's go away for 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and a lot of stuff going on. So I don't know. You have any other thing you want to talk about? Get into some shout outs and close this down.
Yeah, it's getting hot. So we've got a couple shout outs. Mike and Audrey, for sure, for coming up and visiting and hanging out, and the corn tortilla trick. Thank you. It's always awesome to hang out with you guys. We really had a good time. Shout out to Ivan and Mary for dinner and the company. They're just such awesome people. And Ivan, every time we see him, it's how are you today? And every single time he says, outstanding. I'm going to be scared if he ever doesn't say that. But they just really love life. And someday, I want us to be able to have a little time and enjoy life.
Someday.
Yeah. Big hugs to Julie and Indira for sending me some really awesome gluten-free paleo recipes. You guys are great. It's really been fun to go through some of those. And the family's embracing it pretty well, and I think it's going all right. So, and then big hugs to my Aunt Carol. She had heart surgery this past week, I guess last week now. And my mom went down to be with her sister, and my aunt's family's been down. So big hugs to Aunt Carol and all the family.
So, cool. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Use your pens. Write to us at Anderson Pens, 10 East College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin, 54911.
Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and all other social media as Anderson Pens.
The blog, of course, is blog.andersonpens.com.
And the website is andersonpens.com.
Check out the social media for updates, new products, or events in the store. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. We will see you next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.